Hi guys, welcome back to the Library of Alexandria. And today guys, today I'm going to talk about my November TBR as the year draws to a close. I cannot bloody believe that it is freaking November. That is absolute madness. Absolute madness, because I remember this last November, I was reading Mistborn, The Final Empire. I had not yet heard of Kelsier and his desire to overthrow the evil empire. And I had not yet heard Brandon Sanderson tell me repeatedly that, I know I said his name, but I mess it up and say Brian Sanderson so often, I literally have no idea if I just said Brandon or Brian Sanderson. Let's see in editing. I had no idea that it would be described repeatedly, that you throw down a coin and you push off it, to fly or jump in the air and stuff. It has been a long year, but I'm excited. So for November, my TBR, I'm going to have some new books, and then really for November and December, I'm going to try to finish a set amount of books, and I'm going to finish all of these books that I have been holding on to. I'm going to finish them before December, before the end of December. I have a couple weeks off in December for Christmas, so that is optime, that is excellent. And then I get some time around Thanksgiving as well, so hopefully I'll be able to capitalize on that and actually get some reading done. I'm hoping. So, without wasting any more time, let's get down to business. These are the books that I plan on reading in November. So, I have two books that I absolutely am going to read, guaranteed, no excuses. These are the books that I needs read. And the first one's going to be Boosh, Salute the Dark by Adrian Tchaikovsky. This is book 4 of the Shadows of the Apt series, book 4 of 10. And so we've been running the August of the Apt read-along, and this is the final one. We were only going to read the first 4, which apparently make up a mostly complete arc before continuing on with the overall kind of story, so you could kind of stop there if you wanted to. I don't know what I'm going to do after this. This is one of my favorite series. What Tchaikovsky is doing with this, it just checks so many of those boxes of things that I really, really love, and I am loving it. I am going to continue on. I'm going to keep reading the Shadows of the Apt series so that I can stick with it and see how everything ends up. I do not know if I'm going to keep the channel read-along going. I don't know yet. I'm going to poll the Discord, mostly because if I'm planning on reading one a month, I'm not sure I can commit to starting a new read-along in the Discord that I could also commit to one a month for. Maybe. It just depends. So I'll kind of poll, see how people feel, and we'll see. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do, but we'll figure that out. I cannot talk about what Salute the Dark is about because it will spoil many, many things, but there are many threads that are loose. Many things happened at the end of Blood of the Mantis. The back of this book sounds freaking awesome. I cannot wait to see how some of these plots are resolved. So I will definitely be reading that. The other one, I'm so tired of showing this book, guys. I'm so tired of showing this book in my TBR. Boom, Hero of Ages, last book in the Mistborn series. I know you guys are waiting for me to read this. It's getting done in November. I'm going to read it in November. It is extraordinarily apropos that I began this series last November. I will be ending it this November. I will read it. I will be done with it. So I put about 6 months in between. I read Well of Ascension in April, and now I'm reading this in November. So, 5 months between those two, and then 7 months between that one and this one. Good night. Really? Oh my gosh. How does anybody remember anything? But I loved Well of Ascension. That was good stuff. So, guys, I will be reading this. I'll be reading this. I refuse to show this in another TBR ever again. Mostly because I really think that I'm going to enjoy Mistborn Era 2 just because of that kind of the aesthetic. So I actually do hope that I am caught up with Mistborn Era 2 by the time that 4th book comes out late next year. So that's my plan. It'll get done. Don't worry about it. Next on the books that I want to read in November, but it'll depend, is definitely going to be Snuff by Terry Pratchett. This is the 8th and final book in the City Watch sub-series of Discworld. And for the first time on my channel, this is a Discworld book that I have not yet read. I had stopped reading just in general, and Discworld specifically, because I just didn't read anything, before this book came out. And so I have not read it. It, among a few of the other later books that were later released, I haven't read. So I am so excited to wrap. I'm excited to not. I don't want to end my time with the Watch. I don't want to end my time with Commander Vimes, who, as you know, is one of my favorite characters of all time and is my hero. So I have heard mixed things about Snuff. I have heard that it's Vimes heavy, which is always delightful. So we're going to see. We're going to see how much I like Snuff. There's zero chance of me not liking it. So it's just a matter of where does it kind of fall in the hierarchy of the other Guards books. So I have not read a new Pratchett book in 20 years. So this is going to be, it's going to be exciting. So I'm really hoping to get to Snuff. I actually am hoping this coming year, to read more Discworld more intentionally, rereading more of the Discworld, and then getting to the books I haven't read, because I haven't seen a ton of kind of collaborative Discworld videos with people talking and discussing the Discworld books, and I would like to do that. So I'm hoping more people will pick up Discworld, more people that I know will pick up Discworld, and that I can have a discussion about Discworld with some more people, because I just had a discussion with Dr. Philip Chase about Guards, and it was a blasty blast. So I'm hoping to have more of those kind of chats about Discworld in the future. Another book that I'm really going to try to get to is Boosh, Purple and Gold, a novella by K.J. Parker. So, Zara and I are huge K.J. Parker stans. We have both read The Folding Knife, which we both loved, and Sharps, which we both liked, didn't love. And kind of, Parker is so not for everyone. He's just not. He's just not. It's very specific with the things that it delves into, like economics and political stuff, like very, very specific, or engineering, or like fencing. You want to know everything about fencing? Read a Parker book. And it's all very much based, a lot of it's based on kind of the Roman period, or the mercantile Italy kind of time period, or Byzantine Empire period. And so this one is based kind of around, it's like a fantasy Byzantine Empire kind of setting. The main character's name is Phormio, who is actually an admiral, a Greek admiral, who was in the Peloponnesian War in real life. I don't know who this Phormio is. And anyway, we had decided that we kind of wanted to read more Parker and make sure to like schedule more Parker, but I don't have time to commit to an actual book every month about Parker. So when I have time, I definitely want to read. I have so many of his novellas, so I definitely want to, go ahead and read one of his novellas if I don't have a lot of space. I know I'm reading an actual Parker novel in December, so I figured we would read a novella. This is about a guy named Phormio who is roped into some job in the government by his college buddy, Nico, who is now the current emperor. And so this is written in epistolary format, so they're writing letters back and forth, and I'm excited to see what it's about. If you're interested, in Parker's absorbing epistolary novella, Phormio, the new young governor of a border province in an alternate Byzantine empire, gets things rolling with a plaintive missive. What the heck did I ever do to you? To his divine majesty Nicephorus V, who is one and the same as his recent college bosom buddy, Nico. The badinage, what a good word, badinage. The badinage between these two amuses. The martial action of Phormio fighting off barbarians diverts, and the hardest of hardball politics plays out. Only the characters here are fantastic. The physical details and scenario are all too historically veristic. I love the stuff that Parker writes. So this is not long at all. It is 110 pages, so I'm hoping to get to this as well. Next on the list of books that I really want to get to is The King's Blood, Book 2 of the Dagger and Coin series by Daniel Abraham. You'll recall I read the Dragon's Path in June, and I liked it. I really liked it. I didn't love it, but I did really like it. I love what he's doing with the characters. Abraham writes really, really characters that feel real. They're very flawed. They are often put upon, and to see them deal with their perceived inferiority. Well, sometimes it's real inferiority, but seeing them deal with that, seeing them deal with feeling oppressed or down and out is always just, it's really, really good. Very realistic. They talk like real people. They make decisions like real people, even if you hate the decisions that they make. It never feels like he's forcing a decision for plot reasons. I know Long Price Quartet was definitely planned from beginning to end because of things that happened in those later books that were definitely set up from like the very beginning of the series just perfectly well. I feel like that same thing is happening here. Not a ton happens in the first book, but the characters, we get some really great character moments, some really surprising things happen that go in unexpected directions, and I love fantasy economics, as you just heard me talk about with Parker. And one of the characters in here is a banker. They are a fantasy banker, and so we get to see the inner workings of trade between nations, which is one of the things that just fascinates me in fantasy in general. I have not been able to get to the book 2 yet. I really wanted to finish this series before starting his new series, Age of Ash, that will start in February. It's not going to happen, but I really wanted to, so I'm going to get as far as I can. I'm definitely going to read Age of Ash when it comes out. So that is another thing that I'm going to try to get to. And the last book that I'm definitely going to try to get to is the next Brian McClellan novella, and it's Murder at the Hotel Kennan, Murder at the Kennan Hotel. This one is about Adamat. So now we've had 2 about Tomas, we've had 1 about Erica, Tomas's wife, and so now we're going to get the kind of the origin story or the backstory of Adamat, who is the detective, the investigator, and one of the main POV characters from Promise of Blood. I'm hoping that it's good. I have not actually finished Servant of the Crown yet, so I cannot comment on that. But currently with novellas, I'm at 1 and 1. I did not like Siege of Tilport at all. And I did really enjoy Forsworn, so I'm hoping that Servant of the Crown will be, I'll like that. I'll like that as well. I want to like these guys. I am not trying to declare holy war. I'm not trying to be difficult. I want to like these so bad. So, I'll let you know. You'll see in my wrap-up. Other books that I'm hoping to get to, and if you want me to prioritize one of these over the other, I know, Jake, I know you want me to finish Tagana. It's on the list. I'm going to try to finish Tagana. Also, Six of Crows, which is my punishment book. I have to do that so I can bring you guys some more sweet, sweet challenge videos, because I don't want to film one of those until I've actually done my punishment. And I also don't want you to think that I am trying to oath break and not fulfill my punishment. So that is coming. There'll be a reading vlog with that, because I'm sure there'll be tons of leaning. And maybe, you know, I'll actually know who Kaz Brecker is because they'll say his name. I also want to continue the Hyperion series with Fall of Hyperion, and I need to finish Of Blood and Bone with A Time of Courage. I was not able to get to it this last month at all. Like, I didn't even start it. I just wasn't. I didn't have any time in October, as you'll see with my wrap-up. And so I want to finish that series. They've already had their chat about it, which is, I mean, understandable. I couldn't talk about it if I hadn't read it at all. So I definitely want to finish it. I have taken this Banished Lands journey this far. I need to finish it, especially since Time of Courage is supposed to be the best of this sequel trilogy. And then the last book that I really would like to get to, because it has been a hot minute since I have done any Malazan content on this channel. I had a lot of Malazan content when I first started out, and then I stopped because putting out Malazan content when you have my opinions is not always conducive to people being, you know, polite in the comments, because I have some opinions that, you know, I think some of it's boring, and I'm allowed to think that because some of it just doesn't interest me. I probably use stronger language than others do when not enjoying a part, you know, but Malazan still has some of the best military action that I really, really like. I still love the Malazan Book of the Fallen series. I just haven't, you know, I had a review for, I don't know, I had a review for most of the books. I think I had a review up through book 9. Yeah, I had a review up through Dust of Dreams, and I never actually put any of them out past Memories of Ice. Anyway, Steven Erikson is releasing in America, finally, a new book in the Witness trilogy called The God Is Not Willing, and it is a trilogy about or having something to do with Karsa Orlong. I love Karsa. I love me some Karsa. Witness. And so I have been told by all of my friends who have read this book that I am going to like it a lot because it deals a lot with the Marines, which the Marines and the military is my favorite part of the Malazan Book of the Fallen, following the soldiers. So I have been told that I will enjoy it greatly. In addition, it's not 1,200 pages, so it is a normal sized book that I can probably fit into my schedule. So I definitely want to read that as well, but who knows. So anyway, guys, those are the books that I plan on. I'm going to get to as many as I can. I'm definitely going to read Salute the Dark and Hero of Ages. On those extra books, let me know what you would like to see me read and review the most, and I will do my best to take your suggestions under extreme advisement. So guys, what are you going to be reading in November? What are you most pumped to read in November? Let me know down in the comments. If you too are tired of seeing Hero of Ages appear in my TBR video, go ahead and drop a "you got this" down in the comments. If you're Jake, go ahead and drop a comment that says, "Hey Alan, when are you gonna finish Tagana?" Otherwise, just let me know what you're excited to read in November. Guys, that is it for me today. Thank you guys so much. As always, information about my Patreon and Discord is down in the description, and I'll see you next time, guys.